Good morning, everyone. I'd like to welcome you all to the White Coat Ceremony of the St. George's University School of Medicine, class of 2029. Woo. I would like to recognize the presence of Dr. Charles Monica, our chancellor, Dr. Marius Lucas, President of St. George's University and Dean of the School of Medicine. Dr. Mark Clunas, Interim Provost and Senior Associate Dean of Basic Sciences of the School of Medicine. Dr. Nadia Solomon, our keynote speaker for today. Dr. Lucy Clunes, Vice President of Student Affairs and Senior Associate Dean of Student Affairs for the School of Medicine. Dr. Anthony Andel, Vice Provost for Academic Quality and Strategic Progress. Dr. Lucy Eugene, Dean of the School of Arts and Sciences. Dr. Callum McPherson, Dean of the School of Graduate Studies. The Vice Presidents, Associate and Assistant Deans, Chairs, and Heads of Departments within the St. George's University School of Medicine. Other faculty members, staff, specially invited guests, families, parents, and most especially our students. It is such a privilege to be able to stand before you today as an alumna of the St. George's University School of Medicine and as your Master of Ceremonies. I still remember my own white coat ceremony, the pride, the anticipation, and yes, the nerves that you felt as you're sitting in these seats. This ceremony is a defining milestone, a moment when you're formally welcomed into the medical profession and entrusted with the values of compassion, integrity, and lifelong learning. As you put on your white coats today, please remember that they're more than a symbol of knowledge. They represent your commitment to service, professionalism, and the trust that your patients will place in you. Today marks the beginning of a journey that will challenge you, it will inspire you, and it ultimately will shape the physician that you will become. I'd like to share a brief history of this ceremony with you. In 1993, the Arnold P. Gold Foundation created the White Coat Ceremony at Columbia University's College of Physicians and Surgeons to promote humanism in medicine. With guidance from the Gold Foundation, St. George's University School of Medicine initiated its own White Coat Ceremony in 1996, long before many other US medical schools. In 2003, the Gold Foundation founded the Gold Humanism Honor Society, an international society dedicated to the promotion of humanism, professionalism, and ethics in medicine and medical training. Dr. Gold passed away at the age of 92. He was an international advocate for humanism in healthcare, and we are honored to have hosted him and his wife Sandra as keynote speakers for our 2005 White Coat Ceremony. St. George's University's chapter of the Gold Humanism Society is based in the Department of Clinical Skills and is supported by the Dean of Medicine's office. Our chapter established the Humanitarian Student Organization in 2009, which through basic sciences students promote humanism across the St. George's University and Grenadian communities. Chapter members are nominated by their peers and inducted during their clinical training when they participate in an ongoing chapter project. So hopefully many of you guys will be able to participate in that as well. It is now my pleasure to welcome to the podium Dr. Marius Lucas, President of the St. George's University.
Good morning and welcome, class of 2029. It's great to see you all this morning. So first off, we're very proud of you. We're very, very proud that you came to this noble profession of medicine. And also a big thank to all the parents and all the students that you trust your education with St. George's University. St. George's University was established in 1976. the same year I was born. So next year signifies our 50th anniversary, and you're going to be part of these big celebrations. And those celebrations, they're going to take actually, they're going to span over two years. And the reason for that is in 1976, in August, St. George's University was established, and the first class was in 1977. As a result, we're going to celebrate and party for exactly 2 years. So you're going to be the class that you're going to experience that. So we're going to have parades. We're going to have a lot of interesting things. The outcome, however, from those 50 years is that St. George's University addresses a very, very important part, which is physician shortage worldwide and specifically in the United States. We are the #1 provider of physicians in the United States with over 24,000 currently active alumni. So you're entering really a powerhouse and the place for primary care worldwide. So congratulations one more time again. Let's go now to some interesting things that sometimes is cliche for white coat ceremonies, but we're going to make it a little bit more fun this time. So #1, take it as an advice, take it as a suggestion, take it as you want. Medicine is not a lonely profession. Medicine always and always, it's applied in a team fashion. Even if you're eventually, in your private clinic, always you have friends, you have other doctors, nurses that you have to work with. As a result, whenever you, in your career or in your medical school, you feel the need to ask for help, you must ask for help. You don't have to play heroes here. Asking for help is who we are. So in case that you have any challenge in your exams, in case that your 95 is not enough and you want to score a 99 in your exam, ask for help, right? So please do that again and again and again. So asking for help, it's nothing to be ashamed of. It shows maturity and shows that this is the way forward, especially in the world we live in nowadays. The second part is attitude. We need to have a very, very cool, positive attitude 24/7. Even if you don't have one, pretend that you have one, becomes a habit, and then you're becoming the happiest person in the world. Your patients would like to see a doctor that smiles, right? They're already in pain, they're already they have multiple problems, so they would always like to see a person that is there to sit next to them in those difficult moments. Your colleagues, they would like to work with somebody who is a happy person, happy personality with a very, very big smile. So please do that again and again and again. Third one, don't forget your loved ones. I'm a dad. I have a 20-year-old daughter that is her birthday today. Yes, my baby girl. Unfortunately, she studied a little bit at St. George's University. She's right now in Toronto, Canada. She's studying investment banking, and my little baby girl, she's away from dad. So she called me yesterday, she called me this morning, I told her happy birthday. So it's very, very important to keep in contact with your parents. They are together with you in this big journey of you becoming physicians. They're literally stressing out a lot. So please, 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 keep in contact with them. My days in medical school, that was 30 years ago, it was very, very different. I had to find a phone with a card and call them, and oh my God. Right now, it's so much easier. Just tell them, Mom, Dad, I'm fine, I enjoy it, or Mom, Dad, it's so hard here, stress them out. No matter what, communicate with them. Communication is a very important thing. Lastly, the good news, the very good news. We're living in a world of AI. As you know, AI is the #1 increasingly modality that it will affect jobs, is going to affect our future, obviously positive. But for us as a profession, we're going to be the least affected. So you're going to have a job. That's so important. And not only you're going to have a job, not only you're going to have a job, but your job is going to become so much more important because human connection, it's something with, I think AI in the next 10, 20 years is going to get lost, and people, they would like to talk to their doctors more than ever. So becoming any type of primary care physician, becoming any type of physician, right? It's security, and all your investment you're doing right now is going to pay tons of dividends again and again and again to you and to your patients, okay? So thank you very much. Good luck. We are here for you, and I'm looking forward to see you again in graduation. Congratulations.
Good morning. Chancellor Modica, President Lucas, Dr. Nadia Solomon, Vice Presidents, Deans, I just want to add my welcome to you all this morning. But a special welcome to the parents, brothers, sisters, children, partners, and family of our aspiring physicians here, because without you, they probably wouldn't be in the same place they are today. So welcome to Grenada, a beautiful part of the world, and welcome to the St. George's University family. As the President said, we're 49 years old, and we're preparing to celebrate our 50th. I'm a little older than the President, so I beat him to that one. But you're becoming part of a proud tradition, single largest contributor of physicians to North America, an alumni base of 24,000, students from more than 140 countries. Our clinical network spans from the East Coast to the West Coast of the USA. Over in the UK, there are multiple clinical sites, and we have a presence in Canada and, of course, here in Grenada. But the most impressive statistic our Chancellor told me over dinner last night, which is, if I'm ever hit by a car in New York, there's a 1 in 20 chance it's an SGU graduate that will treat me. Now, each year at graduation, we celebrate the goal of humanism, and that's at the end of your journey. And Dr. Bob Grant, who unfortunately can't be with us today, he talks about the 5 H's of humanism: honesty, humility, hustle, humor, and happiness. And Bob, that's a 64 in Scrabble. Remember that score. But in thinking about today's ceremony, we're in the white coat, so we had to come up with the 5 W's of white coat. Wisdom. And that's really your job, to go beyond memorized facts, weave together clinical experience, ethical judgment, along with the knowledge of people and peoples, how they live, how they play, how they work, where they work. All of those are part of the determinants of health. And so it's not enough to know about organ systems. You have to know about your patients, but you also have to know about the ecosystem in which they live, work, and play. Workmanship. Approach your craft with precision, discipline, and pride. Do things the right way, even when no one is watching. Warmth. Let your compassion and listening be as reliable as your stethoscope. Listen to your patients' voices with the same care that you give to their hearts. Patients will never know how well you scored in your OSCE for the detection of an S3 gallop, but they will always remember being truly heard by you. Wonder. Stay curious, question assumptions, celebrate discovery, ask questions. Medicine never stops growing, and neither should your sense of awe at what you have the privilege of doing. Last W, anyone guess? Wellness. Well done. Guard your own health. Burnout heals no one. Find balance. Remember, your health is tied to your patient's health care. You have to be healthy in order to help others. And a sense of purpose. A sense of purpose guards against burnout. Physicians all work hard. Many people work hard. It's not working hard that creates burnout, but losing your sense of purpose is certainly a big contributor to burnout. So wisdom, workmanship, warmth, wonder, wellness, and Bob, that's a 72 on Scrabble. But let's go back. All cultures talk about purpose and how to define it. The Japanese speak of a concept, ikigai, and there are 4 parts of ikigai, which is what your passion is, what you're good at, because you're not always good at what you're passionate about, so it has to be your passion, you have to be good at it, what other people need, and finally, and this is an important one, what you can make a living at. And when all of those factors come together, the intersection of those 4 factors is what generates purpose, and that's the Japanese concept of ikigai. In Britain, we use the word calling. In Germany, Berufung. In Africa, Ubuntu. I like this one. I am because we are. You are only something in the context of the space that you interact with. Across cultures, purpose always blends 2 things, your place and care for others and fulfillment of self. But purpose is not a passive gift. It's discovered, shaped, earned through expression of you and your choices. And I can't get away without a little bit of Latin. So as the Romans put it, faber est sue quisque fortunae. You're the architect of your own fortune. May you build well with wisdom, workmanship, warmth, and wonder, and wellness. May your white coat fit not just your shoulders, but also your sense of purpose. So my congratulations to you all. It's my distinct privilege to introduce the man with the vision for SGU more than 50 years ago, and that's Dr. Charles Modica.
My legs are stiff. Whew. Good morning. Good morning. Thank you. I'm always proud to be here at these ceremonies. I'm the founding chancellor. You're probably the first class that gets to see my name when you come on the campus. By the way, I didn't want that. In all truth, they wanted to name a building after me. I had my parents, Louis and Marion Modica. That's my parents. The person that brought all the first students down, my friend, a neighbor, literally. Andy Belfort, that's Andy Belfort Hall. So we had a doctor at Maury Alpert Hall, first dean at St. Vincent. We had a program there. We had Jeffrey Bourne, Keith Taylor. All those places are special. And the people that were associated with the naming were special in the formation of the university. And I came off JetBlue yesterday, and I'm leaving today. So why am I here for 24 hours? And I would not be here, believe me, to honor you, to let your loved ones and friends know how good you are. Yeah. The world can use a lot of good news sometimes, especially in these days, and you are not good news, you are great news. Great news. There's that song, I was once like you are. I forget who sang that, and I was once like you are. I wanted to be a doctor. At career day in high school, they would bring different professions in to see what, as seniors in high school, what we might want to do in our lives. We weren't sure. We had to have a good time. Nothing wrong with that. And the week before a physician came in, a pilot came in. I came home to my mom. Mom, I think I want to be a pilot. She goes, oh, that's nice. And then the following week, my mom and dad are the son and daughter of immigrants from Italy. They met in Brooklyn at Lincoln High School, which is right across from one of our teaching hospitals, Coney Island Hospital. That's where they met. And I was the firstborn in an Italian family. You don't want to be the firstborn, trust me. A little bit of pressure. And so the following week I came home and I said, Mom, I think I want to be a doctor, because there was a doctor there that day. And oh my God. Tears, hugs. I probably would have had a third week with some other profession, but after that day, I was going to be a doctor. And I applied to about 20 U.S. medical schools. I was, we're considered the war baby. We're the baby boomers, the war babies right after World War II. And what you had is a lot of American medical school seats, but hell, not enough for the extra 10,000 applicants that didn't get in there that went abroad. In fact, there were 20,000 seats in the U.S. those years and 45,000 applications. And trust me, out of 25,000, probably 23 were worthy of going to med school. I got my last reject letter and took it well. Mom cried a little bit, and I said, don't worry, a lot of my friends are going to Europe, and I'm still doing it. I want to be a doctor. So I went to Spain. My grandfather cried because he wanted me to go to Italy. He was honored there. He helped build Boys Town, a big charity there. And I said, I'm going to try Spain, you know. I want to do my own thing. And I went there. I went into a school there with a bunch of other Americans. We have 29 Americans. And we kind of found each other really fast, unfortunately, because the Spanish students were looking at us like we're from Mars, you know. And I was there, and the reason I bring this up, it's important for you, to tell you why I respect you so much. I did well there, and it wasn't fun. You know, we talk about artificial intelligence and all that crazy stuff. I'm in my waning years now, so I'm lucky I never had to deal with it. I'll bet on your eye rather than AI any day of the week, because I know where you're coming from. I was there. I was once there. And in Spain, I managed to pass everything, which was really good because instead of an MCAT, you know what that stands for, I think, right? The Spanish had a better system. They pretty much let anyone in, which is why I was there, because a college degree, yeah, a college degree and a police certificate of good conduct, we had to get that, in triplicate, translated, ribbons, seals, God knows what, to get there. And you're automatically admitted. Well, life is good. The problem is the first year, a third of the students get flunked out. So here I am studying Spanish, trying not to get flunked out, with 29 other Americans, and most of us made it because we had a lot of drive. And so that summer, my report came in. There was such a thing as snail mail because there was nothing else going on, trust me. And so my grades came in. My mother opened the envelope. Aprobado means you're approved. She was like ecstatic. Now, I hadn't mentioned to her when I was over there that I spent a month traveling in Europe because I wanted to write a guide on foreign medical schools, because in my class, out of the 28 or 29 students from America, 27 had paid $1,000 each. That's real money in those days, trust me, to go through an agency to get into that school. And it bugged me. I didn't pay, but it bugged me that could happen, that you needed to go through that expense to get admitted when admission was automatic. And this fellow that ran the agency, an honorable guy, a physician himself, but he said guaranteed admission to European medical schools. Well, it was guaranteed, you know. So I ended up not paying the fee, learning about the agency, and saying to myself, I was always kind of an entrepreneur, I'm not going to come back here. This is not for me. I passed everything, but I'll break the news to Mom during the summer, you know, and kind of I forgot to do it right away when I got home. She got the envelope, but by that time I said, but I got some good news, Mom. I'm not going to go back, but I'm going to write a guide on how to get into foreign schools. It's a great thing. I'll make some money, and I'll save people. It was $8.95, which is a lot of money in those days for a pretty thin book, but it saved you $993, so it wasn't a bad deal. And I mentioned that to you, and the story is kind of long-winded, but it's important to you to know that I did not go back to Spain. And my mother, you know, took it pretty well for an Italian, you know, second-generation mom. She cried for about 2 weeks, I think it was. Straight, I'm not kidding. Went to Mass every day. Yeah. And then she brought out the big guns. My grandfather from Brooklyn, he was a big union leader and wonderful guy. I really looked up to him, and he came out to Long Island during the week, not on a Sunday for the meal, you know. And that's serious stuff. And he goes, grandson, you're going to come up for a ride with me. We're going to talk. I go, okay, you know. And he drove me to the house where my parents first lived when they were married. The backyard was the Long Island Railroad. Front yard was Suffolk Avenue, which is not a great neighborhood. That's where they rented. My dad became a big developer on Long Island. We moved to a great setting on a lake and, you know, that kind of thing. And he remembered the way there. I hadn't been there since I was 7. We moved when I was 7. My dad started making some real money. And he said, "You remember this house?" I'm going like, "Yeah." But you got it. Here's a guy who didn't graduate high school, got off a boat with $10 in his sock. You know, that's where they came from other countries. And how effective he was. And he said in the car, he goes, "Grandson, I started from here, off a boat, to here. Your father or your mother, they met. They went from here to here. You're the first one to graduate college. You went from here to here. And you were about to go from here to here, but instead you go all the way back down to here." It's an Italian thing. We talk with our hands. And I said, "Grandpa, I know I passed. I wish I hadn't. I'm approvato. I can't do it. I swear, it's really intense, lots of memorization." I said, "You can do it, but it ain't easy." And I just lost my drive for it, you know. And so right then and there, he was quick, though. You see, that's the thing. You don't have to be educated to be quick. He said, "Okay, I can accept that. You'll be a lawyer." I hadn't thought about it at all, trust me. I would have said yes to anything at that point. I said, "Grandpa, give me a big hug. That sounds like a good idea." I figured, we'll put it off a little bit. We get back home. You see, we didn't have cell phones, so we had to go back home to get to a phone, right? He calls my uncle, who's a big judge in the Supreme Court in New York State, and Uncle Phil, and he says, "I got some bad news and good news. He's not going back to medical school. He wants to be a lawyer." I agreed to be. I don't know if I wanted to be yet. And Uncle Phil made some calls, and anyway, I went to law school. And the reason I talk about that to you and why I respect you so much, after 1 year of medical school in Spain, I knew from nothing. You know, torts was a book, and I go, what is a tort? I had to look everything up from day one, okay? Everyone else was pre-law, ready to go. I loved reading cases. A case is like a short story instead of memorizing every, you know, you're starting to do it already. So I was like, okay, what are they going to quiz me on here? Maybe the citation of the case. Maybe you have to remember the volume and page number of the citation. I actually raised my hand in the first class and asked about that. And the professor said, "Why would you memorize that?" I said, "You got to memorize something, don't you, you know?" So I was in a class of 300. I was not pre-law. I was there because of Grandpa's advice. And at the end of my first year, I was number 1 in my class with 300 students, okay? Yeah. And I say that because it lets you know how good you are. You're giving up a lot to be here. A lot. I founded this school when I came back. During law school, I wrote to every English-speaking country in the world because I said, you know, I wrote that book. I'm selling it like hotcakes. Life was good. I had a Corvette in law school for my book, you know. Hey, I did some good in the world, made some money. And I would go to colleges on weekends to talk about the book, promote it, sell a bunch of copies at pre-med clubs and all that. And coming back in the Corvette, you know, life is good, you know, doing well in law school. And I said, man, every time I would go to a college, there'd be 20, 30 students in the pre-med club. There's always a first hand raised. Okay, we like the book, and you know we're glad you're here. What schools in English can I go to? I go, forget it. You know, you got Spanish, Italian. You know, you're going to study in a foreign language. Oh, that's the reality, and that's what Americans were doing. In fact, 1 out of 4 physicians in America at that time, and still now, are foreign graduates, most foreign-born. There weren't enough seats. It wasn't a failure of any of you if you tried a U.S. school, and you should have. There weren't enough and still are not enough seats for the numbers of physicians we need. And you're going to fill that gap. And when I wrote that book, And then later on in law school, I had this idea of an English-speaking school somewhere. I wrote to every English-speaking country in the world, by the way, and wanted to know if they were interested in a U.S.-type school to be set up in their country. And I had a little shoebox on my desk in law school. And the shoebox never got more than half full, if you know what, with answers to my letters. And so one night I came back from law class and grabbed the local newspaper, which I didn't get every day. And in the bottom right-hand corner, the tiny English-speaking nation of Grenada received independence. All right, I already had a globe from my study I was doing, half-empty shoebox. This is like 6 months into law school. I'm acing everything, right? And I go, that's interesting, because I needed an independent country that would grant a charter so graduates could take the U.S. boards. You know, I knew how it worked because of my book, how the mechanisms worked, right? So you ever see those cartoons with the light bulb? They still have cartoons, right? It goes off, you know. So the tiny, I go, holy, yeah, there's a country I didn't write to. It wasn't independent yesterday. So I went all out, you know, high tech here, forget AI, you know. Got Charlie Modica thinking about this stuff. I went to Western Union. You know, there were telegrams in those days. It was 50 cents a word. And my book was published by the Foreign Medical School Information Center. That was my DBA to publish the book. And the government here got a telegram. The Foreign Medical School Information Center wishes to congratulate the Prime Minister, Sir Eric Matthew Gary, and the nation of Grenada. That was a lot of words to pay for, by the way. On its recent independence yesterday. As a newly independent nation, you are eligible for the ongoing feasibility study for a new international medical school. They were eligible. That shoebox was half empty. It was worth a shot. It was probably, I would have been practicing law on Long Island if it wasn't for that article. About a week later, I get back from class. I'll never forget it. And Western Union, again, I'm kind of like George Washington to many of you. I realize that. But anyway, there were yellow envelopes, okay? Your parents, grandparents will certainly know. And underneath my door, there's a little bit of yellow. I go, oh my God, you know? Grab that, I pulled it through, didn't even open the door, Western Union. I was smart enough to know they didn't bother to send a telegram to say, we're not interested. And Gloria Payne, who authored that telegram back after working with the Prime Minister, is still alive. She was back. When we dedicated that gate entrance with my name on it last year, she was standing there with me. We took some photos. We still laugh about it if she hadn't sent that answer. So the nation of Grenada wishes to participate in the study. Thank God I still have a lot of room in that shoebox. What steps do we need to take next? And I was like, trust me, you're the front runner, the only runner. You sent a telegram. I'll do the rest. And the reason I talk about that is this school was set up with 200 wild and crazy guys and only 5 women in the first class. Women weren't going into medicine in the 70s, trust me. And we came down here. I was introduced by the Prime Minister as their chancellor. I was 29, and the average age of the class was 27. But, yeah. And I'll never forget, I was ready for anything. Trust me, setting it up, we finally wrote a book about it, and it's going to come out in January, by the way. And, yeah, it's cool. It's called Docs, D-O-C-S, on the Bay. And it has a picture of the charter class, some of the charter class students carrying me out of the water, dripping wet. And underneath that, of course, we had to get the campus on the cover, the beautiful campus and aerial view. And it's the story of how they came here, like you. And you might say, well, some of the buildings were probably here. Trust me, there wasn't one brick of one building here when they came. It was all open air. Air conditioning was out of the question because electricity was only available 6 hours a day. So that would have been a waste of money, wouldn't it? Yeah. The good news for the school at that time was we didn't have AC and we didn't have lots of buildings. It's about $1 million, our electric bill, $1 million. And that's not a year, that's a month. Keep those lights and AC on. So we didn't have anything. But what we had were people 50 years ago coming in, different faces, but the same drive, the same dedication. And the reason you heard the great news, not just the good news, is because you've given up a lot to be here. You want to dedicate yourselves to helping others in your lifetime. I know you can do it. I knew the charter class can do it. The reason they have that picture on the cover is they were carrying me out of the water because I told them all along, we'll double the world pass rate on the boards. You know, I was the ripe old age of 29, and, you know, but we formed a bond. It wasn't about me. It wasn't about the charter. It was about that class. And the next 50 years will be about you, what you're going to do in your lives. And you have the ability to do it. You have the presence of mind to do it. And you have the hearts of gold. When Arnold Gold was here, we were one of the first international schools to have a white coat ceremony. And he was here, and I met him and just wondered how he could think of something like that. Well, he was a pediatrician. He was short in stature, by the way, and he always used to kid around. That's so I could look at my patients eye to eye. And that's the kind of thing that this white coat represents. And you have every ability to definitely leave and with an MD degree. Hopefully I'll still be kicking around, and I'll be there at graduation. I'll have that colorful gown. I have a great gown, really colorful. All the colors of the Grenada flag, you know, and I get to shake your hand and call you doctor for the first time. So it's a long story, but I want your parents and friends I'm an old Italian guy now, myself. To know how good you are. God bless you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Monica, our esteemed Chancellor of St. George's University. So it is now my pleasure to welcome Dr. Nadia Solomon, who is our keynote speaker for today. Dr. Solomon, MD, MSc, and MA, is a clinical fellow in the section of emergency and trauma radiology at the Yale School of Medicine, a PhD candidate in the investigative medicine program with the Yale Graduate School of Arts and Sciences, and a city medical examiner and forensic radiologist for the New York City Office of Chief Medical Examiner. After graduating from St. George's University in 2019 with her MD and an MSc in tropical medicine, Dr. Solomon completed her medicine internship at Elmhurst Hospital in Queens, New York, and her radiology residency at Yale, where she participated in the ABR Holman Research Pathway and served as chief resident. She also holds an MA in forensic psychology from John Jay College of Criminal Justice. With her current research focusing on postmortem and forensic imaging applications, Dr. Solomon's goal is to advance forensic radiology as a distinct subspecialty in the United States by strengthening support from medical examiners' offices nationwide, fostering academic and clinical collaborations across disciplines at both the national and international level, and establishing dedicated training programs to promote its growth. She hopes that we can use forensic imaging and radiology pathology correlation to promote justice, expand our understanding of disease pathophysiology, improve the accuracy of mortality statistics and other data that drives public health efforts. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Nadia Solomon to the stage.
Hi, everyone. I'm not going to lie, I think Dr. Monica is a very tough act to follow. I think I'm still tearing a little bit. Man has a heart of gold. It's wonderful. I love it. And before I start, I just want to very quickly bounce off of Dr. Lucas's whole thing about AI. I think he's totally right. It will never replace us. And in case anyone ever tells you that AI is going to replace radiology, they're wrong. and you have nothing to worry about, and anyone who says that doesn't know anything about radiology. Okay? So I hope this resonates with you, but everyone in this room, all of you, have something very specific in common. And I'm not referring to the arguably masochistic desire to dedicate more than a decade of your life to education and training, and the rest of your life to caring for others. That's relatively common among physicians, regardless of where you go to medical school. But in this room, at St. George's University School of Medicine, you will all share a more interesting commonality. I guarantee that each and every one of you, or at least almost each and every one of you, has been underestimated. For some of you, it could have been by the admissions committee of other medical schools. For others, it may have been by former college professors. Or maybe you were underestimated by peers or colleagues, or even by friends or family. I'm sure you're all excited to start this journey. But I'm also sure that even among all of this excitement, some of you are sitting here wondering, did I make the right decision? Can I actually do this? So my journey with St. George's University started very similarly to yours, although to some of you it may be more or less relatable. It wasn't until after college at NYU that I decided I wanted to become a doctor, and that was after deciding during college that I absolutely did not want to become a doctor. It wasn't until I finished college that I enrolled in a forensic psych master's program uptown at John Jay, that I worked for a forensic psychiatrist in Manhattan. And then all of a sudden, everything kind of fell together and it hit me. I was meant for forensic medicine. I didn't know that existed before I worked with this guy. So, a semester into my master's, I re-enrolled at NYU in the post-bac pre-med program. It didn't occur to me that re-enrolling in a weed-out pre-med program may not be the best move. I'm sure many of you can relate to that. But it was what it was. From there on, completing my post-bac and my master's simultaneously was definitely a juggling act. I managed to come through with decent but imperfect grades. But moving between two universities, it gave me really diverse and interesting research opportunities, other unique experiences, and I found that I really loved research. So I became dead set on applying to MD PhD programs. I wanted to get a PhD. As you can imagine, that didn't go well. I was rejected from more than 30 MD PhD, standalone MD, DO, and PhD programs before I finally applied here. I remember emailing one school for feedback on my application, and the admissions counselor, in addition to commenting on my grades, had said, well, you've done a lot in forensics, and it wasn't said with a positive connotation. And it gets in your head. Sometimes it's really hard to help. With numerous failures and negative feedback, there were many, many times, both before and during medical school, that I found myself deeply questioning my choices, my goals, and my capabilities to achieve them. So having shared this, maybe some of you are thinking, what is happening with this speech? I thought the white coat speaker was supposed to deliver something uplifting. Why is she telling us this, you know? Why are we focusing so much on my failures and my mistakes? But I'll tell you why. Because what I want to impart on you is that failure is a normal part of the process. And experiencing failure does not keep you from achieving success. A failure is not the end of the road. It's a speed bump, a hurdle in the process. I failed a million times in my life, more than I could possibly describe in a single speech. And whether it's because of my failures or for other and completely unrelated reasons, I have also been consistently underestimated. And I could have let it go to my head and derail me completely. But instead, as you heard, I stand in front of you today as a Yale Radiology and Fellowship trained emergency trauma radiologist, a former chief resident, a PhD candidate, and the first radiologist to be hired by the medical examiner's office in the city of New York. But the point is, if I can fail and fail and fail and fail and still achieve my goals from the same position, the same seat you're in right now, although frankly, I really hated sitting up here, I liked the nosebleeds, then you can do it too. You have the drive, the hunger, the ambition, the dedication. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here. And St. George's University has given you a chance, given us a chance, by opening a door that others slammed in our faces. And especially here in Grenada, what a unique and beautiful experience it'll be. I won't lie to you though, it's going to be a difficult process and you will struggle. As you embark on this journey, I want to offer you a few choice pieces of advice. First, treat medicine like you're jumping hurdles. Even though you know your ultimate goal is the finish line, focus on the hurdle that's immediately in front of you. Whether that's a course grade, BSCE, USMLE, or residency application, if you try to jump too many hurdles at once, you're more likely to trip. But also remember, just because you trip doesn't mean you're out of the race. Unlike track and field, you aren't competing the same way with the person next to you. So even if you trip, you can still win. Second, enjoy the process and keep an open mind. You're here because you are innately inquisitive, and you're being given the gift of education, medical literacy, and clinical and scientific creativity. Soak it in and see where the path takes you, because it might be completely different and much better than the place you initially thought you were going to go. Finally, and most importantly, do not underestimate yourself and your capabilities. Remember, you're here for a reason. And although at times you're going to feel stressed, overwhelmed, frustrated, and sometimes even completely defeated, do not lose sight of whatever it was that led you here. Just because you've been underestimated does not mean you have to underestimate yourself. I'm sure by now you've all seen the boat outside that says, "You know it don't come easy." And that's true. But maybe the fruit at the top of the tree is the sweetest because you had to work that much harder to reach it. Thank you, guys. Best of luck to all of you. You're gonna do great.
Thank you, Dr. Solomon, for that self-deprecating but also hopefully inspiring speech for our students who are seated here today about to don their white coats. So St. George's University School of Medicine will now present you with a white coat symbolizing your entry to the profession and your commitment to uphold the duties and trusts associated with medicine and medical training. So I now invite faculty from the School of Medicine to take the stage. Our quotas today include Dr. Mayana Charles, Dr. Mohammed Abdul Rahim, Dr. Simone Pierre, Dr. Elias Abdullah, Dr. Batsalava Petta, Dr. Katrina Billy, Dr. Rohan Cummings, and Dr. Alina Wade. Dr. Kerry Mitchell, our Assistant Dean of Student Affairs and Chair of the Department of Public Health and Preventative Medicine, will call each student by name and college. Those students who have with them today a physician, family member, or loved one will be quoted by those physicians. We ask that you please hold your applause until all students are coated and keep the aisles clear for the duration of the coating. Also, a gentle reminder to our students, please have your coats unbuttoned as you come up to the stage.
I will now call on the students from Blackwell College to be quoted. Mustafa Maksosi. Isabella Eunice. Jacob Moore. Michael Bowie. Ralph Dagger. Jeremy Abbott. Lukman Assad. Jacobo Fuchs. Marcos Colon. Charles Patch. Eamon Cho. Tanwir Hakub. Vital Jami. Temi Oyedele. Jason Vosvoy. Kobe Saponamoa. Sebastian Cruz. Courtney Moody. Ashley Iman. Christina Brackpool. Alfonso Barney. Morad Rene Joseph. Keziah Bethany Joseph. Fiona Noel. Kareem Stroud. Emily Rupnarine. Alicia Lacan. Vandana Malmadan. Dimitri Suhon. Tringlong Pam. Uwase Ame Blande Nadayo. Marissa McHale. Mai An Dung. Jessica Dagger. Benedict Moase. Wada Sibugani. Bosa Balising. Keasha Busby. Crystal Wilson. Georgia Long. Adam Issa. Francesca Saint Fleur. Nafis Fatima Hashani. Tumi Akin Renmade. Shaliz Park. Gabrielle Fonteno. Haley Stone. Kamakshi Nitinkumar. Mary Marshall. Chidinma Chukukere. Najante Anthony. Jalees Sands. Christian Cummins. Artem Komenko. Randall Gupal. Kimon Tamaklo. Albinus Emmanuel. Kennedy Dancy. Aran Moses. Olivia Windsor. I will now call on the students from Curie College to be quoted. Isma Samora. Alexander Gonzalez. Nathan Karoma. Veronica Stiles. Natalie Torres. Patricia Sandoval. Gina Stefantis. Danielle Hurston. Stephanie Bennett. Rams Kadum. Anaya Akita. Zaina Sayed. Vanessa Moscoso. Barbara Michelle Gonzalez Alarcon. Baljot Chata. Aliyah Shakira Rajwand. Mahad Akhtar. Sirantu Taraore. Christina Yegazarian. Precious Stone. Hiba Nasir. Heaven DeBose. Olubenga Babatunde. Vadim Berdov. Nicole Romanelli. Ashley Marcela Sandales. Nur Char. Sage Ross. Wenke Zinak. Vanessa Brigno. Julian Maldonado. Lauren McMullen. Winnie Theodore. Gabrielle Daisy Louise Wilson. Richard Chair. Brooke Major. Taylor Marie Collins. Ryan Dagger. Sarah Shikan. Nidhi Warrior. Talia Tardogno. Ekitela Ijoran. Shiru Mururi. Cheyenne Kimani. Selena Correa. Levana Partovi. Christopher Floyd Reitmeyer. Isabella Darcy. Bayla Bleachner. Omobolaji Mensa. Faiza Nayab. Liz Mara Saldivar. Isabella Leon. Kahina Larbi. Hossam Ali. Aisha Khalid Hassan. Manar Ahmad. Raywan Ali. Maria Jose Giraldo. Ferdos Shaker. Kashish Patel. Matthew Jones. Chiduno Donald Enimua. Inkendafe Injunge. Adejoke Adeni. Angelique Jonti. Fatou Kalsum Si. John Vinay Indekiayo. Jessica Lien. I now call on the students from Fleming College to be quoted. Terence Holland. Emily Lipinski. Valerie Sastoke. Vidya Kadiyala. Jonathan Oradegu. Jeffrey Dimuna. Brian Regalado. Farhan Mangut. Aksir Bura. Ethan Stinson. Vandana Teke. Divya Lakshmanan. Sharon Huang. Nicole Torres. Dhruvi Patel. Christy Tran. Shreya Kuthapali. Kristen Woodland St. Louis. Marian Gerges. Narciso Agundes. Andrew Sharon. India Mayuri Patel. Amrit Dalwiwal. Ishita Patel. Julissa Lorraine Bishop. Keondra Lynn. Mistura Abdul Karim. Brianna Carla Iloncio. Carolina Aponte Rodriguez. Honorine Kiresi. Sabrina Jalis. Alexa Lopez. Khadija Robinson. Chizoba Naruka. Shannon Kumar. Zina Faisal Alazawi. Jamie Rassi. Ikra Pervez. Tabitha May. Naomi Ekanaika. Crystal James. Matthew Velocos. Addison Hurwitz. Fareed Estefan. Simon Yakum. Joseph Charbel Biri. Callie Fabricio. Caroline Racy. Ivy Ramos. Cedra Mahir. Emily Chandler. Sophia Papatia. Sarah Cangelosi. Pritiv Rajbabu. Hector Rios Rosales. Benjamin Vogel. Jordan Nosal. I would like to thank the faculty from the School of Medicine for their assistance in quoting our students. The following students will be quoted by their designee. Melissa Ochoa, quoted by Dr. Otto Ochoa, her grandfather. Pranit Gandhi, quoted by Dr. Divya Gandhi, mother. Sausan Atyani, quoted by Dr. Rola Shaheen, mother. Henry Diaz Guijarro de las Heras, quoted by Drs. Lucia de las Heras Garcia y Jesus Diaz Guijarro Hayes, mother and father. Giovanna Arata, quoted by Dr. Anthony Arata, father. Kristen Luongo, quoted by Dr. Patrick Luongo, father. Gabriela Villalobos, quoted by Dr. Waria Esmond, mentor. Isma Bokhari, quoted by Dr. Syed Bokhari, father. Presley Walters, quoted by Dr. Howard McMahon, grandfather. Jaina Bell Kramsky, quoted by Dr. Michael Sherman, uncle. Kaylin Mitchell, quoted by Dr. Larissa Dudley, mentor. Horatio Shen, quoted by Dr. Vikas Jain, mentor. Nathan Weitzner, quoted by Dr. Corey Weitzner, father. Gabriella Megid Gamil Sif, quoted by Dr. Megid Sif, father. Miriam Makari, quoted by Dr. Susie Habish, mother. Oidet Dewan, quoted by Dr. Supriya Singh, aunt. Isabella Tish, quoted by Dr. Stephen Tish, father. Chanel Regis, quoted by Dr. Kira Romaine, sister. Yeve Kangara, quoted by Dr. Edmore Kwaramba, uncle. Isaiah Wallen, quoted by Dr. Chanel Sawyer, aunt.
So it's really nice to see everyone here with their white coats. And so I'd like to say congratulations again to our class of 2029. So I will now like to introduce Dr. Anna Cyrus Murden, our Assistant Dean for Simulation, co-chair of the Department of Clinical Skills, and an SOM alumna to lead you in the professional commitment.
Good morning. Anyone who knows me know I like excitement, and in lieu of the occasion, let's do it again. Good morning.
Good morning.
So, I have the incredible honor to seal the deal. So at this time, I would like to invite the class of 2029 to stand and recite aloud with me the professional commitment which is located to the front of your program. I would also like to invite all of the other physicians in the room to please stand and help us. This commitment was written by a student task force in 1995 and then revised in 2024, and has been recited at each of our School of Medicine white coat ceremonies. So are you ready? Let's begin. Today is the beginning of my medical education and training as a physician. I acknowledge my responsibility to continue the pursuit of knowledge and understanding while recognizing the limits of my abilities and seeking assistance when necessary. I am entering training for a noble profession in which my interests must always be subservient to those who may seek my assistance. I must be ever conscious of the value of my fellow healthcare professionals and treat them with respect at all times. My classmates at St. George's University are now my colleagues, and I owe to them the same support and encouragement to achieve their goals, as I hope to receive from them. I will work alongside my colleagues and professors with tolerance, compassion, honesty, and cultural humility. I will treat all members of the St. George's University community and its visitors with equity, regardless of rank, as I will do to my future patients. I acknowledge my obligation to adhere to the University Honor Code and to conduct myself with integrity and in an ethical manner at all times henceforth. Taking full responsibility for my choices and actions, I shall do all within my power to show in myself an example of all that is honorable and good throughout my medical career. It is a privilege to have been given the opportunity to become a physician. May I be ever conscious of that privilege and never abuse it. Congratulations to the class of 2029. Please be seated.
So, guys, we are now at the end of the ceremony. And on behalf of St. George's University, I would like to thank the Arnold Gold Foundation for the Humanism in Medicine pins that have been placed on each of our students' white coat. Thank you, students, family, faculty, staff, administrators, and of course, specially invited guests for your support and for your presence in this ceremony. So we'd like you to please remain seated and keep the aisles clear until our faculty and students have exited as directed by the ushers. And when you are directed to exit, please use the side doors. Also, please keep the front of the room clear as we set up for the next ceremony. So we would like to ask you to join us for a light reception in the open area of Monica Hall. Thank you again for joining us, and again, congratulations to our class of 2029.